Everybody, and welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 how-to video. Today we're going to talk about how to enable the development console. So the development console is not enabled by default, else we wouldn't be talking about how to enable it now, would we? But at any rate, the dev console is very handy when trying to troubleshoot issues you might be having with gameplay. Also helps us do things like hide the HUD, enable flight mode, and various other things that we as content creators can make use of to, well, quite frankly, create our content a little bit easier. And you, as well as a player, you may find it helpful in trying to troubleshoot your general gameplay issues when you have them. So the first thing we need to do is we need to enable the dev console. With Farming Simulator 2022 closed, you don't want to be doing this with the game open. You want it closed. Open Explorer and navigate to Documents, My Games, Farming Simulator 2022, and from there you want to locate the game file right here. We want to right click on that, and then we want to select Open with Notepad. And once it's open, you're going to want to locate this line right here, which reads Controls False / Controls. And what we're going to want to do is change the false to true. So we're just going to delete false and type in true. At that point, we're going to close the file. Yes, we want to save it. And then when we launch the game, we'll be able to go into the dev console. Now that the dev console is enabled, the way we activate it is we use the tilde key, which is the key to the left of the 1, using the US standard keyboard layout. I know there are several other keyboard layouts, so I'll go ahead and put a little graphic up of what the tilde key looks like. And the way it works is you press it once, and basically you get a log readout. This is the same thing as your log.txt file. You can use page up to scroll up through the log entries, and you can use page down to scroll down through the log entries. We can hit tilde again, and now we have a text entry field where we can just enter text. That's where we would enter various console commands, and then we hit it a third time to make it go away. Now that is not the only thing that the dev console does. If we hit F2, we can bring up a FPS counter, and you'll see that the game is hard locked at 60 FPS. Until you push F3. F3 will unlock the frame lock, and now we are basically unlocked. I'm not going to move around because doing this seems to have adverse reactions for OBS and my screen capture. So let's go ahead and lock that back by hitting F3 again. Now that we are back at a nice stable 60 FPS. Other things we can do is enter into wireframe mode by hitting F4. So F4 is extremely handy in trying to locate things that are hidden, maybe in tall grass, foliage. I call it my finder of hidden objects mode. And quite frankly, sometimes it's just fun to walk around and pretend that you have X-ray vision. But this is extremely handy in trying to find stumps that are hidden, because you can still see the tree that's underneath the ground in wireframe mode. And to turn wireframe mode off, we're just going to hit F4 again, like so. F5 is my friend amongst all friends. F5 is what's going to activate and show you triggers, collision boxes, and various other handy things. Like, for example, here we have the trigger to open and close the door. I'm not really sure if that's orange, green, or yellow, but we have the trigger box there. When we walk into the trigger, we can activate the door, and when we walk out of it, you'll see that when we walk out of it, the F1 menu changes. There we go. We have what I think is a tip collision down here on the ground. That's what this red is. That extends over the floor here. And then off in the distance, that is the map boundary collision wall. So that is F5. And F5 has a few other features. This is hitting it once. Hitting it a second time actually shows us light rays and various things. If we hit it again, we think it's gone, but it's not. If we get into a vehicle, we'll see that we still have something going on with it. As we can see this arc of red around things. What we need to do is we need to hit it a fourth time, and now it has been fully disabled. F7 gives us an interesting set of camera views. And we're just going to cycle through this. This is going to change for every map. And it's a various set of kind of fixed cameras. And there we go. F8 is rather interesting. Let's go ahead and hit that. F8 brings us diagnostic information. Maybe turn that off. Maybe you've accidentally hit F8 before. You get all this information up on your screen. You're like, whoa, what the heck did I do? How do I get rid of this? Well, you just have to cycle through this a lot. There's a lot of different screens in F8. So we'll go ahead and just cycle through several of these right now. These are ideally used by, obviously, devs, mod creators, map creators, but can also be rather handy in troubleshooting things. Memory usage, audio information, and there we go. F9, F10 don't do anything. F11 is a rather interesting new feature, and according to Giants, this is the shadow map debug. Again, this is going to be useful for map makers, possibly mod makers. And then F11 will turn that off again. And that is basically the function keys and the dev console. Now, I'll show you a couple rather probably popular dev commands. We have a new dev command to hide your HUD. It's going to be GS, and then we're just going to type H, big H. HUD visibility, we're going to toggle that, and now the HUD is gone. We don't need HUD hider the mod. We can just turn it off ourselves. We want to bring it up. We're going to hit tilde twice. We're going to hit the up arrow, which is going to bring us the last command we hit. We're going to type it again, and now the HUD is back visible again. Another popular question is, how do I enable basically the ability to fly around? Well, that is going to be GSP for player, and then we're going to just toggle this a few times. Player flight mode, hit enter, and now with the help of the Q and J key, we can enable flight mode. Q is go up, E is go down, and J is to turn it off. And then if we want to enable it again, we hit Q and J to enable it. And then we can use WASD to fly around. Q to go up, E to go down, J to disable it. There are several other console commands that you can make use of. There's a very popular mod, Easy Dev Controls, in Farming Simulator 19. All Easy Dev Controls did was expose to you as a player through a user interface many of the development console commands that are available directly from the console. So one thing you can do just for fun, get up here to the text entry screen and just start tabbing. You're going to see all kinds of things pop up here. All kinds of things. Like, for example, we can Buy all farmland. If I hit enter, I'm going to buy all the farmland. Buy farmland, buy all farmland. Farmland, sell. Sell all farmland. We can set the fruit on a specific field. We can do all kinds of things. Again, the Easy Dev Controls mod basically just activated the dev controls that are already available in the dev console, just made it a lot easier for the average player. So guys, I hope this video was extremely helpful. If you did like it, please go ahead and click that like button, and why not go ahead and share it around with all of your friends and other fans of Farming Simulator 22. And until next time, happy farming.